Yeah. Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts, I pop off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the thought of proving everyone wrong, I won't stop to the top, so you better back off and get lost. I'ma stay loud, stay proud, never running out, never heading south. I'll be spreading out, call it word of mouth, can't put me down, I'll be getting loud. You can have me douse, not what I'm about, have your fucking cloud. It be raining now, I keep making sound, go another round, bitch I'm legend bound, can't stop me now. You don't wanna fuck with me, a slow burn like a disease. Just tell me that I can and I'll show you things that you couldn't believe. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can.
Welcome to Friday Night Lights. I'm your host, Tommy, and this is the Mafia Sports Report. And guys, Mr. Mikey unfortunately cannot join us tonight. His wife is going through some stuff, so give some prayers and some thoughts out to Mikey and his family right now. But I think everything's going to be all right. But moving forward, we have a special guest tonight, guys. Yes, we do. So, without further ado, we got Stevie Johnson in the house. What is going on, Stevie Johnson, man?
What's good? What's good, man? It's good to be on Friday officially.
Man. Mr. Why So Serious himself is here in the building. Man, I appreciate all in the chat already. The chat is getting filled up, Stevie. They were ready for you, man. So, Stevie, let's get right to it, man. What are you doing today? I know you got a ton on your plate. I know you got Club HBHF, which is I think a new thing. I know you got the YouTube, which, by the way, I got the description in the link here in the video. And I know you did the children book, so just go ahead, man. The floor is yours, brother.
Yeah, well, it's a lot. It's a lot. So we got time. You know, you can ask me whatever you want. Kind of crazy how all of it, came about, and there's pretty much a story for all of it. Right now, I would say the main thing is the Club HBHF, the Exposure Academy, our mentorship program that we're doing for the youth and for the junior college athletes, for student athletes and entrepreneurs. That's our main thing right now, just getting that out and trying to provide for others, seeing how the world been going, just trying to, do our part in healing it.
Right. And what about the children book, by the way? I know you got a children book that came out, I think, like a couple months ago, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah. So there's always a way with Stevie J, man. It was a creation that came about. I did a partnership with a Thin Man Brewery, and we was in Lewiston. And, shout out to Charlie. Charles Roberts came with an idea randomly, just came to the meet and greet. And he said, I got an idea about a children's book. I want to see if you like it, So he sent me some emails, and we went back and forth, and, I was cool with it. It was something positive. It was progressive. It was something that we can reach out to more kids, and that's what I'm about. As you heard, that's pretty much what we're doing with our mentorship. So I was for it, and I ended up connecting with another creator, an architect named Zach McCabe, and he ended up doing like designs, and we ended up creating a coloring book. And just things end up happening, just positive things, good things happen. So I
know you did like a tour, right, to a lot of schools. Somebody was telling me, because I have a podcast with a mom and a son, and she was trying to get you out to their school, but I think it was too far or something like that. But she was saying you were doing like a tour around Buffalo with the book. Yeah, man, that's pretty cool. Look, man. How were the kids reacting? Pretty cool with it?
It only started with one because my co-author, his daughter, wants to go to the school and present the book, and then one thing led to another. One person heard about it, and you know how the community work. I usually have an annual camp, a skills camp at Amherst, so those parents end up hearing about it, and we end up setting up a tour and reading our book to the kids, and it was something fun for them to to see and be a part of, right, and have fun throughout the day.
Dwight coming in talking about a wide receiver coach in the future. Now, from what I saw, because I looked over the HBHF YouTube, you're kind of doing that, right? Like, the handle
Yeah.
business, have fun. You're kind of helping these younger generation kids, right? Like, I'm guessing these are high school kids or kind of college kids. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
that's what they looks like to me. So
Yeah.
how's that, the HBHF, and like, is it a certain team? Like, dive a little bit deeper into that, man.
Yeah, so it's a mix of everybody. You know, we have high school kids, we got kids from 5 all the way up to adults,
Okay.
that for different leagues, not only professional. Um, the main thing with the HBHF is just pretty much to help everybody, even like entrepreneurs. There's guys that they think they want to play college, college football or live this football life. So they join our HBHF Exposure Academy, and we put them through like a week long a symposium. It's like mini camp, and you make it through that, then okay, you prepare for it. But if you don't, at least you understood, you took that chance and bet on yourself, and lived it out pretty much.
Right.
That's what we're creating here with HBHF. That's why I say it's student athletes and entrepreneurs. And yeah, I would definitely recommend to anyone that's looking up the YouTube page to just check it out and see how the docu-series goes. And we also got a segment called Behind the Pads, where you can dive deeper into these players that we end up picking up along the way from different states.
Hey guys, once again, the link is in the description, so go to his page, subscribe, man. By the way, Beth says her kiddos love the book. So just a heads up, man. So you got people already out there loving the book, man. Stevie,
More to come too. Like that was just the vision. That was just to let people know we here with it, we creating. I want to bring my partners along, so we end up partnering with Fred Jackson, so we'll have his story soon.
Freddie,
That'll be
another Bills Mafia favorite, man. Fred
yeah.
Jackson, man. Like, there's certain players that, like you, Fred Jackson, Eric Wood, like there's certain guys that just stay at home, man. They like Bills Mafia absolutely loves you guys, man. Like, it just won't go away. You guys will forever be Bills Mafia. As you can see from the chat, man. So real quick too, I know you were doing the music thing a while back. Are you still kind of venturing that, or what's going on with the music thing?
Not necessarily with me making music, more so like A&R type, producing, providing a platform. That's another thing that Club HBHF is. When we talking entrepreneurs in music, we got guys that's looking for that platform to have their songs on our footage, on our film.
Okay.
So that's how I'm tied into music now. I kind of provide a platform for other artists and up and comers,
Nice.
and to advertise and get their music out there and heard. So
I got a guy for you, by the way, and we're gonna talk after. I got a guy for you because I'm in Detroit and I work at a bar. We do karaoke every 3 nights, and I got a guy that comes in there, man, and he does his own stuff. Man, he is really good. So I'm gonna talk to you after, see what you think about him. I'm gonna send you the link, but he's pretty good, man. Creative. I tell him all the time, man. You got sometimes you got to roll the dice, like you said earlier with some of these people, man. You never know, man. Roll the dice,
Exactly.
take a shot, man.
Hey, exactly, man. That's the thing, dog. Like that's the thing about all this that's been created. Like you don't know what's gonna happen. It may not work out, but that's only for that day, and that's with that person.
Right.
There's so more people on this earth. You know what I'm saying, that you can create with. So you can't be just that one. And it's just a lot. It's a lot of info that you can give to this younger generation, so they could be more prepared for when they have to take on these challenges and those obstacles that we've been through. That's the blessing in it.
Yeah.
Which I as a youth. You know what I'm saying? But now
1,000.
I love it. I love the things that I've been through, because I can teach these kids and these up and comers through our Exposure Academy.
Yeah, no doubt, man. And by the way, speaking of that, so 2008, I mean, who better to speak to the youth about a 7th round pick, Stevie Johnson. By the way, I got to tell you, I've been a fan since '89, watched this team forever. So I knew about you. I knew when you got drafted, 7th round pick. And honestly, we all know as fans, like usually the late round picks, they don't work out. You know, it's just the way it is, right? But there's Bills Mafia is like we find a guy. It's usually a late round guy that we like. Something's going on at camp, you know, and you were one of them for me at least. And I remember your name, you know, be like, you know, and this is way back in the day. I don't even know. I know I wasn't on Twitter.
It was
But
message.
remember,
It was message boards.
I remember Stevie Johnson, and I'm like, man, who is this guy from Kentucky? And I'm like, man, like I don't know, this guy might be good, right? 7th round pick, but I mean, like I said, man, talking to these young kids, you're a 7th round pick. I mean, usually 7th round picks don't work out, so they got to look up to you and say, man, if this guy could do it, we certainly can, because most 7th rounds, even late 6th round, 5th round, they don't tend to work out. It's just the way it is. NFL short-lived, right? A lot of guys get moved on. They don't have good careers. But then there's guys like you that grind, that work hard, that earn the respect on the field. And then I got to get to you, man. So in 2008, you're not known. You don't get much playing time. In 2009, I believe you had a rim injury, correct? So it kind of kept you off the field a little bit. Now, Ryan Fitzpatrick came, I believe, in 2009, so you didn't get to play with them right away. But
right.
you guys,
we was on the same airplane together.
That's right. Right. So in 2010, tell me about 2010, because this is where Stevie Johnson becomes Stevie Johnson. How was that connection with you and Ryan Fitzpatrick? How did that form? Because Lee Evans was on the team, correct? I'm pretty sure Lee Evans was there. So how did that form? Like, how did you become Ryan's Fitzpatrick guy? Like, how did you get that connection right away?
We like I said, so that second year, I'm flying back from my set to return. Fitz is coming in as a free agent. We on the same airplane. I'm obviously at the bottom of the totem pole, or at the roster. You know, he's coming in new, trying to make a name for himself also. So we on the same team in practice squad. We weren't on practice squad, but we was on like scout team. We was doing the scout team together. And you know, we was just the same vibe from the plane trip to the field was like, it was like natural. You know, we was just cooking. We was cooking on offense. And we was able to get away with certain things. I was able to get away with certain things because the coaches wasn't really coaching the scout team guys, because we supposed to be running other people plays, you know, but we utilized that time to really just, you know, do our thing out there. And, you know, as we kept working, opportunities kept opening up for us. And the next major thing happened was I got called to Coach Gailey's office, and he told me, like, am I ready to be an official piece in his offense?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm ready for this opportunity. And it was up from there.
Now, you started with, I'm going to get to it a little bit later, but you started with Dick Geron initially, correct?
Yeah.
I mean, that was the initial coach that drafted you, correct? Dick Geron? Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Dick Geron. So you and Fitz had that connection right away, pretty much. And Lee Evans, awesome, by the way, awesome receiver. He was with Eric Moulds. I love you, Stevie. You're one of my favorites, but Eric Moulds is my favorite all-time player. Absolutely, I love Eric Moulds. I think he should be on the Wall of Fame, in my opinion. He's past due. I'm hoping when they build a new stadium, he's the next guy up. He deserves it. You, by the way, deserve it as well, in my opinion. I mean, Fred Jackson also is another guy that deserves to be on the Wall of Fame. I hope that I really hope they get their due.
It's gonna be so crazy. This is what I'm envisioning with this Bills stadium since we own it.
All right,
like walking through my college stadium in Kentucky, and they got their own museum. You know what I'm saying? With the guys on there with us, and that's in college. You know, we about to have a stadium. There's no way we shouldn't have a museum in ours. When I went to the 49ers, they had a museum in it. So we definitely
100. 100. And from the looks, it looks really, I mean, I know they are basing it on like a European stadium. It has like a look, I forget what stadium, but it has that look, the same kind of look where it's like it closes. it's not closed, but it closes where
Yeah.
some of the so we're wanting not a lot of snow, but it's going to be updated. Obviously, you know the Ralph is old, so like you said, maybe they will make show a little bit of respect to a lot of these guys. Because man, dude, I'm going to tell you, the drought years, and we're going to get to that later, but the drought years, there were so many great players on that team, like you, like Fred Jackson. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. Lee Evans, Eric Moe. I mean, like on and on. Now Eric Moe's made the playoffs, but Lee Evans, there's a lot of guys there that Fred Jackson that just
I don't know why we traded Lee though. I don't know why we
I
traded
don't
him.
Hey, I don't know why a lot of things.
Yeah. I got called to the room. I didn't know that they was gonna get rid of, our guy, our top dog. I thought she was just saying I'm gonna be coming in. I don't know if it was coach's decision or not, but
it's a rough bit.
Me and Lee,
It's a rough bit. I know you got Trey, so like we're gonna get to here. So like that blew my mind. A lot of things that Buffalo did in the drought year, Stevie. Like as a Bills fan, like I was like, it blew my mind. Like it was tough. It was really, really tough. But the talent was there, man. I'm telling you, the talent was there. You guys had like I go back, way back. I'm talking about like 2002 back of the 2002 team, which Eric Moe was peerless, probably like Drew Blood. Like there was talent. We just couldn't put it together, whether it be coaching or just GM, just weren't on the same page. But it happens, man. Right. It happens. It's the NFL. It's rough. You got to have everything connecting, right? Am I right with there? Like the ownership and GM and coaches all have to kind of connect, right? Is that how you feel?
And that's the beautiful thing about the team now, so we can't really sleep on that. Like we got the management, the coaches, and the players. That's all on one page, and it's pretty cool and it's open, Then it makes the community even better. So that's the fourth element. You feel me?
Right.
Our time, man, like it wasn't a connection like it is now. And on top of that, everybody was kind of scared to have their own identity. That's why I really like Coach Gailey. He kind of had his own identity. He was like, okay, you do this and do that on offense. It's cool. Just make it happen. Beat it. But when you talk about management, they still managing like other teams. Like, who cares? Keep this person, keep that. You know what I'm saying? Flirt with the having the most. I don't know that tax money. I don't know what it was, but it just wasn't seeming like it was trying to build a program to me.
There was a disconnect. There was like I tell people all the time, like at least my thoughts. Like I obviously you're the player, you know more than me, but I always felt like, from any sports like NBA, MLB, whatever, football, like it all starts from the top and they all got to connect, right? You can have a great coach, but even a great GM, but they're not on the same page. One's looking one way, the other's looking the other, and it ruins everything. It like totally ruins it, right? And like it just doesn't work. And by the way, there's a lot of teams this year where we can go and look, right? Denver, the Raiders, like they got talent, but the coaching and the GM, it's like they're pulling like tug of rope, like, right? It's weird, man. Like, but Buffalo, it has it finally. And that's something they didn't have for a long time. Brandon Beane, Sean McDermott, the ownership's letting them do their thing, right?
Yeah.
And even the coaches that coach under Sean McDermott are all on the same page. Ken Dorsey, Leslie Frazier. Like, it just seems like everybody is, it's why you don't get that a lot, right? Like, I mean, you've been in the league a long time, so you would know. Like I was looking back, like, because I know, like, for instance, like I follow Eric Moe's career like crazy, and the thing with me is like I always go with stats, right? And like for you, example, so you had 1,000 yards receiving yards, right, in 3 seasons, which Stephon Diggs now is tied with you, which is wild. Like you and him, like, right? Like that's wild, right? But if you think about it, you had Dick Duron, Chan Gailey, and Doug Marrone. So you had 3 coaches, head coaches, and you had 3 OCs. So every time I'm guessing every time a new head coach comes in, they bring in a new OC. So different philosophy, different terms, correct? So it kind of does it make it more difficult when that happens? Like when a whole new coach comes in, a whole new system, like does that kind of like mess things up a little bit, or
it keeps you on your toes? It's cool, because I wasn't thinking about stats. Obviously, I didn't know there was a record like that because I was the first one to do it.
Right.
He knew like maybe 2 weeks around it, or maybe that week of with the Jets. But yeah, like you just thinking, like, okay, this is a new coach. I got to make sure I can satisfy this coach now. You know what I'm saying? I was more on that mindset as a seventh rounder, trying to keep a spot. I was more of that. But one of the most difficult things that I was always frustrated with is like I didn't understand why I would only get the ball at certain times, like second quarter, or now it's third down. Like let's just open up the gate and start throwing it to me. You feel me? So
Right.
that's
Right.
that's what the guys got nowadays. You feel me? It's easy.
Right.
It's easy.
Now, Chan Gailey, he was an offensive. I know he was an offensive coordinator for a little bit. I know he went to Miami. I have a guy that I talked to. It's actually a Dolphins beat writer, or he writes for the Dolphins or whatever, Curtis, and he loves Chan. Like, he's a Chan Gailey guy, and
Yeah.
he has. And I didn't know. Like, I knew of him as a head coach, but I didn't know his like backstory. But I guess he's a really good OC. Like, how do you feel about Chan Gailey as far as like calling like an OC as a head coach even?
He's fire. He's fire, man. He
Okay.
He got the game. He got the gift. He knows how to put people in spots. And not only if he don't have the people, he know how to create the play.
Right.
I really like that about him. I liked how he let us make the play happen.
Yeah.
Another thing that was kind of tough with during that time, he was like with management. Sometimes they wouldn't want to compete. They wouldn't want to have like other players come in and compete, and everybody's job seemed like it was just a staple, and we was all about competition. Me, Fitz, Coach Gailey, but it was still like it was no celebration type of thing. That's the vibe it was. It was kind of tight,
Right.
but it was a fun time, especially playing with Coach Gailey, because he allowed me to really do my work.
Real quick, because this is a buddy of mine, actually. So this guy does a show with me on Saturdays. He's a Dolphin fan. Good guy, though, Captain D. So he's asking you, he wants to know who's the toughest Dolphins corner you ever faced? Get that question out of I'm guessing Patrick Surtain. I know my football, but I could be wrong. I don't know. I know you burn a lot of DBs. So.
Nope. Surtain, I don't think I played against him.
No? Okay.
Yeah, I think I just played. They DBs was Vontae Davis at the time.
Wow.
He was
You're right, Davis, when he went over there from the Colts. Okay.
Yeah, I think Jimmy Wilson or something wasn't. But Dolphins, I didn't really think about the DBs, to be honest. I'm sorry.
There is one guy though. There is one guy.
Rashad Jones was good on defense.
Okay.
But they was hitting. You know what I'm saying? Like, their whole team was pretty good. Like, we had some good against them. Yeah, but no, not one DB I really was overthinking about.
There is one guy, by the way. That was I think he's not in Hall of Fame yet, but I think he's on the list now, which is Darrelle Revis.
Okay, yeah.
All right, Revis, so Revis Island. So you had probably in that era, you probably had the most. I would say you did the best against Darrelle Revis, correct?
Right.
I mean, you owned kind of him. Do you want to say that, or am I saying it for you?
Yeah, I wouldn't say I owned him. Because that was still like a light game. Like, it's a light game. Like if they really wanted the battles how it is now, where they compete, let's go at it. Then that would have been more fun, but it wasn't really like that, or that wasn't the vibe that I was getting on the field.
What was his style, by the way? Was he more like a physical defender, or he just sticky?
He was balanced. He had good balance, like patience, and he can be strong. You feel me? So I would say a type of DB. Not too physical, like off the jam. He ain't gonna try to come stick you. He just go mirror you or whatnot, but have a good balance to cutting you off if need be. And I understood that because of basketball. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't thinking like running route wise. If you think of running route wise against a DB like that, you feel me? You go get ate up.
Right, right. So you said you and Fitz kind of build a connection or build a chemistry on the plane. Is that what you're saying? Like you kind of got to know each other well in that 2009 season while you were hurt, basically when he came over as free agent.
Yeah. So we was on the plane, and you know, I had some socks on with like 2 pair of socks, one with red, white. You feel me? I'm repping,
Right.
but I'm subtle repping. I ain't overdoing it, but I'm subtle repping. And he kind of peeped it. He peeped it, then he sat next to. I think he might have switched his ticket with somebody else so he could sit next to me.
Is that when he was clean cut? By the way, no beard, no.
Yep.
The Harvard man.
I never thought he was quarterback. You know what I'm saying? I thought he was my quarterback. But when he was like, yeah, I'm going out there also to I got signed a free agent quarter. I'm like, okay, so I'm already thinking like, okay, this is my quarterback right here. I don't care whether you first, second, or third. I understand coming from the bottom to the top, from college to a junior college to Division I. I understood that grind. So everybody I got to be cool with. You feel me?
Right.
So that was the initial relationship between us. And then when we got on the field, it was the same. That's what I loved about him. Also, he didn't turn into a robot. You feel me? Like some quarterbacks would go in,
right,
and they would be, I have to do exactly what the play said or something. You know what I mean? Like they just not the same cool person as they was off.
You play with Trent Edwards, correct? I have to name. Okay.
Trent,
I gotta tell you, I mean, I don't know him personally, and I don't want to get you mad. He's my most hated quarterback ever in Buffalo. Okay, like I'm gonna throw that out there, but I don't know the man I'm not saying I hate the guy because of this person. I don't know him. I just felt like kind of what you said. I kind of feel like when he first came out, when he replaced JP Losman. By the way, I was a huge JP Losman fan. I know he got a lot of heat in Buffalo. Wasn't he your first touchdown pass? Or am I wrong on that? Losman. Was he your first in the NFL? Wasn't it from Losman? I could be wrong. I thought I read that.
New York, right? New York Jets, right?
Yeah.
Wait.
Right?
No, wait.
I think it was Losman.
Was it? I think Trent in Denver.
Was it? Okay.
No,
I can swear it was JP. I could be wrong. You would know about. You probably have the football somewhere. I'm sure you do, right? By the way, did you save that football? Do you save your first football that you scored?
Uncle got out. He got out of jail. He got out of prison, and he came to that game. And I actually gave him that stadium. You feel me? So he actually got that. Shout out to
you don't have that football. Okay. Hey, it wasn't a gesture. So, I thought it was JP Morgan Trent. So you didn't play with JP, right? Then you don't think you didn't play with Losman? It was Trent Edwards, and then it was Ryan.
My first one in Denver. That's when I gave the ball.
Okay.
In New York against the Jets with Losman.
See, my problem with Edwards compared to Fitz, because as Bills fans, by the way, I mean, we were always searching for the quarterback since Jim Kelly left. Like it was crazy. Like I always go back to the Eric Moulds thing because I'm like, Eric Moulds had like 5 starting quarterbacks, and the dude still had like 9,000 yards receiving.
That's why he's
right. So that's how. Like I think he had like 5 coaches too, like 5 head coaches, 5 quarterbacks. Like I mean, it was wild, right?
Hey,
like how can a guy be that consistent with that many? You got to be really good, right? Like if you're still the guy with all these different quarterbacks thrown into you. But Trent Edwards, to me, to Ryan Fitzpatrick was like night and day because I felt like Fitzpatrick was more like what you were saying, like a kind of he played it safe. He didn't want to really give a receiver a chance. Fitzpatrick, which to me, like throughout his whole career, which makes him what he is, he don't care. He's going to give you the opportunity. He's going to throw it and go for it. So is that what you felt like with Fitzpatrick? He didn't care. He was gonna throw that ball to you regardless if you were double teamed or not, or like how did you feel about Fitz when he came in the game?
Yeah, in a smart way, he didn't care. He was riding for the play, go give his players an opportunity. He was gonna do everything that he could, to give you an opportunity to make this play. He ain't go drop back in 3 steps and then know you're not there and just throw it. You know what I'm saying? He go try to make something happen. you know what I mean? Do something that's tricky,
Right.
as opposed to other quarterbacks like Trent. At that time, at first he was able to do that stuff, but this I was a rookie. This is me on the outside looking in from the sideline. He was doing that, and then he got hit. And then once he got hit, he wasn't trying to get the, you know what I'm saying, another concussion and be out.
Right.
At that time, get one concussion, it's like, you know, in that era, you out and you don't want to lose your spot. So he was trying to get it out to, you know what I mean?
Right.
The best way he can. So it was just tough. It was just tough.
Joey's saying your first touchdown was week 15 against the Jets. It was a 2-yard pass from JP Lawson. So just a heads up. That's what the chat's saying. I have to go look. I thought I read JP Lossman. By the way, like I'm a huge JP Lossman fan. I know I get so much heat, Stevie, for that. But I just felt like some players were like doomed to fail. And there's another guy that I want to throw there at you, EJ Manuel. You played with him 1 year. And I kind of felt like EJ Manuel was one of the. Go ahead.
Finish with Lossman. So Lossman, the thing with Lossman, he was good like Fitzpatrick also. However, like what I've seen from him on the outside looking in, you know, you got to play the game off the field too, you know.
Right.
And that's a part of it, you know. Sometimes you can, because he got all the skills in the talent in the world. Because I think he threw a bomb to Lee to open that up.
Him and Lee him and Lee were like you and Fitz. I felt like
right.
Because before you came around, it was him and Lee Evans had that connection, right?
Indeed.
It was right.
And Fitz, he played the game well off the field also, you know. So that plays a part in you know, being on the field and having that opportunity and not. And once again, that's what I'm able to teach through my exposure academy with these kids. Like the sports is just to reel them in, but to tell them these type of stories and tell them like, look, you got like all of that matters. How you handle yourself in the locker room, you know, the conversation that you have when you around X, Y, and Z, it all plays a part. You feel me? So, you know, and I'm glad that you brought this up with quarterbacks. Now we can carry on with EJ. EJ was a good quarterback. I think he had really good potential. At the time, it's tough. It was like you said, it was drought. It was drought bills. So they wanted to force a star there. They wanted to keep their jobs and keep hype around it. EJ was good. EJ wasn't all the way ready. He was not saying that he
was raw. He was raw from Florida State.
Exactly. We could have played Thad Lewis. We could have kept Fitz another year. You know, but that was another regime coming in, doing what they wanted to do,
wanting it now, putting it now. You know, it's funny, like when you say it, like Josh Allen, for instance. I kind of felt like, in a way, they were trying to do they didn't want to start him right away. They were kind of forced to once they traded AJ and obviously the other guy didn't work out. I forget his name, but I don't even want to remember his name, but he didn't work out. And Allen wound up coming in like, I think week 2 or week 3. But nowadays, like the right way to do it, right, for the most part, I would think is to have a veteran quarterback in there. Kind of felt like EJ Manuel like was just thrown in the fire. Like, not only that, like just no, like at least to me, it was like no leadership, like nothing, like the coaching staff, like just go out there and do it. And he had decent games, like, but I didn't feel like they built around him. And then they traded you right away. I think they traded you like right after, right? The following season.
It's a lot that plays into it. Like I could have did better. Everybody could have did better ultimately. But if we just speaking if we think in the QB realm and being the first pick and coming into a situation like we was in, you know, you can't really base that decision on that kid after 1 year. It's the same with Nate Hackett. You know, shout out to Nate. I know it's ugly for him now, but I remember when he was an assistant coming in at Buffalo. But yeah, like 1 year, you get rid of him now. Okay, like it's tough. It's tough. You know, at least
it's wow. Quarterbacks that I always tell Ben, quarterbacks are that's people don't realize that's the toughest one of the I would say the toughest position. It's the head coach and the quarterback. It's always your fault. Everything weighs down on you, you know, like, and you got to take that. And that's the part of being a quarterback. That's why they get paid, right? Like you got to take it. it is what it is. But I'm with you. I now like EJ, for instance, like I felt like he had a good arm. He can move. He was a big quarterback. Like, what was the things that was EJ maybe missing on the field, like that maybe you thought he needed to do this or that, like to maybe improve his game, or maybe the Bills were not doing right for him?
Well, it's just like the intangibles, like the sacrifices. You know, sometimes you got to make certain sacrifices that some quarterbacks will make, as opposed to just getting the ball out. You know, because it's kind of a confusion there. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I would just say like that would have been the main thing to me. You know, it's too many like intangible things to really pick it. And I think it just wasn't fair on him coming in. It was so much going on, being able to control it and trying to act a certain way and trying to do
a
this.
lot.
You know, a lot.
Not only that, the drought year. So you got like this long playoff drought,
right?
And you're drafted in the first round, right? You think you got all the weight had to have been like all the pressure, like man, I don't like that's tough, man. I wouldn't want to be in that position. It is what it is, but rough. One thing I want to ask you. T.O. came. You played with T.O., correct? I believe the 1 year.
That was
how was that when T.O. came? Like, how was he in the locker room? How was he as a teammate?
Oh, he was dope. That was pretty cool because I actually went. My first game was T.O. I think maybe it was Fitzgerald's rookie year, so I don't know, maybe T.O. was playing there also, but it was at Candlestick. You feel me? And then being able to be in the same locker room and meeting room with him, it was dope to see, you know, this legend actually at work. You know, so I thought it was pretty neat coming from San Francisco and being a part of that wide receiver group with him. You know, he showed a lot. He showed a lot like leadership as far as being himself, being comfortable. He wasn't disrespectful. He spoke his mind on plays during certain defensive routes. I mean, during you know what I'm saying, certain defensive plays.
Right.
That's one thing that kind of got brought into the media a lot because, you know, at that time people wasn't really speaking their mind on, hey, let's do this or do that instead of this and this. You know, it instantly was an issue. You know, that was some less minor stuff that didn't really need to be handled.
Did he help the younger receivers? Like, was he like one of those veterans that came in and like, hey, I'm going to help you out? Like a Von Miller came in and like, hey, I want to get this team better. I want to help. Like, did he show you like some stuff that maybe you didn't know or help you out in any kind of way?
Yeah, he always helped us. At the time, it was me and James Hardy. Me and James Hardy.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was another guy, by the way. I'm glad you brung him up real quick.
Yeah.
James Hardy. He was a guy that a lot of Bills, like me, like I was like, man, this guy he had potential. Like he really did, James Hardy. What do you think happened there with James Hardy?
Man, you know, when you get a knee injury, it kind of it can get you. Yeah, it can get you.
Okay.
You know, he was sick,
mentally and physically, right? Like
okay. Yeah, you know, so you kind of run your routes a little more different. You kind of, you know, you're not as comfortable as you think you are, you know, when you never had an injury. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I think that played a part with him. And just unfortunately, it wasn't working. You know.
It happens. Listen, there's first round. You know that there's guys that get drafted first round, guys that get drafted in seventh round work like you.
Go ahead. It's them injuries though. Like it's the injuries. I would say, you know, that's really big.
Just pile up and set you back. And there's
and you hear how, you know, at them times it's not the same as now. Again, you know, you get an ACL, you feel like you're coming back in 3 weeks now. It's like back
different doc, different right. Right. And you didn't. By the way, you didn't have the Bills. I know they got the new facility now. The whole training, the workout thing. I heard it's like excellent over right now in Buffalo. You didn't have that when you played.
It's something else. Yeah, our guys was good. They took care of us good, but you know, it's definitely not like it is now. Of course,
you never suffered it. I don't recall you. I mean, I know the 2009 you had the rib thing, but other than that, I don't recall. Did you have a major injury or no?
Yeah, it's like almost every time in training camp or something, I had something like that. That I had the ribs. I also had the knee that in that training camp.
Okay.
My very first one, I had the knee also. But these are all
God, knee. It's always knee, right?
yeah, but it was minor, you know.
Right.
Shout out to John Cordo, you know, Cordo, he go hard, and there's nothing wrong with that, y'all. You feel me? At practice, you gotta go hard. But yeah, that was my first one. But yeah, all of I was blessed to be able to get back on time though, and you know, still have opportunity to play.
I do want to get to a few other things. So Fred Jackson, Bill's favorite, a guy that I believe college, which was Marv Levy's
D3.
college. Yeah. So right, a guy that once again another guy that just wasn't supposed to make it. Right. And by the way, a guy that Buffalo like GMs or coach, they always try to get another running back to replace him. And it always seemed like Fred Jackson always winded up being the top guy. Like he always winded up staying in Buffalo, proving himself. Like he always had to prove himself. At least to me, I always felt like Fred Jackson was like, and he stayed true. He stayed in Buffalo. He was a solid. What did you feel about Fred Jackson, just as a person, as a player, on and off the field, man?
Man, yeah, Freddie. Shout out to Freddie and his process, his journey, because it's so tough. It's so tough to make it and go through all those levels, those success stories, and then a lot of failures, you know, and then having success and not getting to what you wanted. You know, that's a strong mind. So I was blessed to be able to be his roommate as a rookie on every trip. I was in the room.
Okay.
So it was cool. I was very quiet. I didn't talk a lot. I just observed and seen how he moved, and he did what he was supposed to do on time here.
Right.
Extra. So, you know, I that kind of just got into me. You feel me? We did have one conversation. We had one conversation, and it was talking about getting our jerseys when we drive into the stadium. We want to get our jerseys hung up into the Bill store, and we just always talked about that and just continued to grind and practice and practice. And one day we drove up, man. Yo, you see it? He was, man. We did it. You know, so he was always motivation in a sense, you know, and his journey is just a testament to that.
Yeah, dude, I love Fred Jackson, man. I absolutely. By the way, I got one of your jerseys. I got the old school Reebok. Remember when Reebok was making jerseys, the on-field Reebok jersey? I got your jersey. By the way, this is a heads up. By the way, real quick, the on-field and off-field jerseys in 2000 and I don't know what year it was, 2003 maybe. What did you feel about the white and the blue row that people hate in the all blue?
Yeah.
I like the all blue. I didn't even mind them both, but I rock the all blue and like the dark navy blue and red. I like those.
Yeah, I think
what did you feel about this?
I think they should always be able to wear any one of those sets, you know. And if you got the swag, or if you got the, you know what I'm saying, the waves to pull it off, then do it. I know I felt like I look good in it. You know what I mean? It didn't matter what kind of.
I didn't mind the white and the like. I know a lot of people hate them. The road white and blue. I get it, but I thought they were okay. Me personally, I don't hate them. Like they're not my favorite. My favorite is like the navy blue with the red. Like I just like that style, and I like the color rush that they have now. They're all red. I think that's dope. All white's pretty dope.
These jerseys are tough.
Yeah, they're. I'm waiting for the red helmet though. They got to bring the red helmet back. I mean, I don't know what the hold up is there, but
and I think if we went 90s style,
dude, right? Why not with all dude? That would be so tight. You had 3 head coaches. So Dick Duran was your first, Chan Gailey, Doug Marrone. Doug Marrone was your last. I believe you played one season. So out of all 3, was there a certain coach you just didn't have a good connection with, or you kind of had a good connection with all?
It was kind of good with all of them. It was just the last coach Marrone. It was just a whole different vibe like that. I think they came in with a different mindset, you know what I mean? And you know, it was understood though. It was all understood, but
Saint Doug.
It was unnecessary. It was understood, you know.
Right. So I do want to bring something up. I'm going to play a video clip. So I guess I'll play 2.
How do you trade? How do you trade? But then you can add more pieces though and still have me. You feel me? And like, what? How do you?
I don't listen. I don't get. I those years I always question everything. Like I didn't understand a lot. Like honestly, I'm like, why are you doing this? Like, why? But that's why it was the drought years, because we talked about this earlier. I really think there was a disconnect with the coaches and the GMs. Like maybe the coach didn't want to do it, but the GM didn't. Like, and I don't think you have that now. Like Sean McDermott and Brandon Beane are like, they're on the same page. Like he's not doing something that he's against. You know what I mean? Like there's going to be still mistakes, I think, right? There's always a mistake.
I wasn't perfect though either. So, I don't you're saying like, oh, yeah.
But you were also a three seasons in a row, 1,000 yards. You were the prime target, and to take away that target, I did. Oh, real quick, I do want to mention a guy that you play with that I met, and it's another guy that I felt like was a great story. And you I don't know if you know him well, George Wilson. Do you remember him? Safety?
Yeah, really great.
I am from Michigan. I originally lived in Florida for a little while. South Florida that's my home base.
Okay.
But I have family in Detroit, Michigan. I live in Detroit now, but I used to visit a lot, like, from South Florida, Detroit. So one year I visited, and it was my cousin's birthday in Dearborn, Michigan. So we went to not his birthday, it was wedding. So he went to a bachelor party in his house. And my cousin comes over and he's like, man, I want you to meet this guy, man. He knew I was a Buffalo Bills fan. He's like, this guy, George Wilson, he played for the Lions. He's a receiver. And I'm like, I had no idea. I never knew this guy, never heard of him. And I think he was in Detroit as like practice squad guy. So I clearly, I don't know who this guy is, but he played for the Bills. I'm all for it. So I'm like, what's going on, man? TJ, and blah, blah, blah. So he's like, hey, man, we got to talk about Josh Reed. Yeah, I know you know Josh Reed. And I'm like, so we were talking. And then he goes to the Bills, and I don't think he transitioned right away. I think he was the next season, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. And I'm like, son of a bitch. And he winded up being a really good safety.
Leader, yeah.
Very, like, how rare, by the way, how rare is that, Stevie, for a player to go to one position to another and excel? You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure it's done, but not to a level that, like, maybe he did it. Or like certain player, like how rare is that? Like, you know what I mean? Like it'd be like you going to safety. Like, is that a tough thing to do and to do it well?
It's something that everybody think about, like walking up the elevator the opposite way, until you get in it and start doing it. You know what I mean? But imagine that elevator at an accelerated pace, and for him to still do that, make that transition, along with being like John Cordo, going hard every day at practice, no matter who it is you're going against, because that's one thing that get a lot of these young guys out now. They want to be too friendly with their friends at college practices or high schools. In a sense, you got to develop the dog in you. And I learned a lot from George, man. I learned a lot from George off the field also. Like little things like checking into hotels, talking to certain people, watching how he was moving. It was a lot that we learned from G.
Yeah, I like just the time I had with him. By the way, I had like a massive sunburst. If he remembers me, I was like a tomato, because my cousin was like, bro, go to this suntan thing, this tanning booth, and go for like 20 minutes, man. And like I went in, I don't know if he was messing with me, and I came out like a tomato, and I was so hurt. But I'm like, I gotta talk to this guy. So if he remembers me, I was like red like my hoodie, like I was red. But great guy, and I love stories like that. Like I honestly, like I love him, man. Like and it was awesome that he turned out to be a really good safety for the Buffalo Bills. I do want to get to a couple things, so I'm going to play a couple clips there of you and something that I don't think is so bad, but I'm going to play it real quick.
Short set, Fitzpatrick fires, touchdown. Stevie Johnson over the middle, and he beat Darrelle Revis. He continues to go at Revis. That's a fine.
That's one. So I'm going to bring it up. So Plaxico Paris, we all know the incident in the nightclub. So talk to me about that. And I know you were fined, correct? The NFL fined you for that?
Everything, like
Okay.
everything.
So I know initially, though, just before that, because I didn't even know about this and I don't remember it until I read it. There was an incident that you did a celebration in New England with the rifleman, the Minute Man.
Yeah, and fine for that too. Like I'm off the field. I'm not even on the green. Just play, bro. Let me just have some fun.
I think it's listen. So the reason why I bring it up is like, okay, I'm a fan. I know they call it the no fun league. Things have kind of changed. I think they kind of eased up a little bit.
Oh,
but I don't understand. Like, there's some things I get, like, but some things like that, I think it's funny. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't think it's like showing anyone up. You're not. I don't know. What do you feel about celebrations like that? Like, I know you did it, so you're gonna. But like, did they fine you heavy too? Because I don't remember your fines on that. Like, how does that work? By the way, the fines. Do they send you? They just dock you right away on your check, or
come to your locker and you got a freaking yellow envelope on there and got papers. You fined 5 for this, or you been fined 10, or 25 because this was so. You know what I mean? Like what?
Wow, and you have no, and you got to pay it. Like that's it.
It's automatically out, but then you kind of just you dispute them, and you know, sometimes you get it back, sometimes you don't. You know,
so did you get any of them back, by the way?
I fought a few. It was the ones I got back was more like equipment stuff, like
shoes or something stupid.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Something silly, something that don't matter.
I see. So what? I gotta ask you before I go to the next one. What made you do the Plaxico Beers thing? Like, did you know that was gonna upset her, or you just did it because you were in New York?
Man, like where we from, man? We just playing, we having fun, dog. Like you are out of jail, but you did something so silly. Like, but you out of jail and you getting paid, you scoring touchdowns still. We got a rivalry going on, like right? Do something about me. Like, let's go back and forth. Like, why you so, you know what I mean? Like, they was
Did he ever talk to you, by the way, about it? Did he reach out to you ever?
No.
No, are you serious? Never, ever, ever? He never said, hey, nothing? Years later, nothing? You never ran into him?
You don't have to. I don't think you have to, you know?
No, I'm not saying he has to, but I mean, it never came up ever. Like, I'm just surprised that he wouldn't, like, there's somebody.
I mean, I would have just said the same thing I said now, just like, bro, you having fun right now. You scored a touchdown that game.
Right. I thought it was fun. I thought it was funny. Maybe he thought it was funny though, because listen, if you would upset him, you think he'd reach out to you. But it's different. I will say today, like that was a while back. Twitter wasn't like, I think Twitter was around, but it wasn't as popular. And players weren't tweeting as much, right? I think way back in the day. So maybe he didn't say anything. But I thought, listen, I saw that live. I knew right away. I got a trip out of it. I loved it.
But I did wings also. I did the wings like
so you also did the wings thing where you fell. Yeah,
I was saying Holmes. He do the wings. So like I'm having fun with going against your team and stuff. Like don't be.
T.O. did it with the star thing. I mean, a lot of players do. Like, for instance, I'm gonna throw one out there. I know you remember this. Randy Moss doing the moon thing. I thought it wasn't. I don't understand what's
the big like
he didn't literally put his pants down. Like he faked it. And what is the problem? That's funny as shit. Like, even if what is the problem there?
That's crazy. Yeah,
I don't know. Like, I think sometimes certain people take things like, you know, like, listen, if you're gonna I know Juju, for instance, Juju Smith did something on Cincinnati or something. He did like a dance, and he got lit up. And hey, that's the best.
I don't know what he did.
He did some dance in the middle of the field, right? Like a couple years ago. His like Juju dance like on TikTok. And then he got blew up a corner like a couple plays later. And that's the best pay. Like, listen, it is what it is. Like T.O. did the thing on the star. You know, like I don't know. I think it's funny. I don't know, but NFL's weird like that. Now they got celebrations that teams like put together, like they, like Ocho Cinco. I thought Ocho Cinco's celebrations were great. I thought T.O.'s
Steve Smith, they had some good ones. They had some good ones.
I never. That's part of the game. It's fun. Like I don't understand why you would take that away.
Yeah, never be. I mean, if you're doing something really disrespectful though, then
exactly.
If Plaxico wasn't back playing football, I never ever would do something stupid like that. You know what I mean? Like
I get it.
Go on no more. But you back playing, you healthy, you great, you survived that.
Right.
Having fun. This is football, bro.
Come on. Exactly. I'm gonna play another one for you. I got.
Fitzpatrick fires. Oh, caught! Steve Johnson, touchdown, Buffalo! What a play and what a move! 28 yards. Why so serious?
So that's when Why So Serious was born. I know the backstory, but maybe I'm wrong. The backstory was because they were calling themselves Batman and Robin, correct? Yeah. And you were in Cincinnati. You wanted to just basically say, "I'm the Joker," correct?
Exactly. That's okay. That's it. And you walked in, they had their cool magazines with the Batmobile on it, and it was sick. I was like, "Oh, that's pretty cool." I had no idea doing the Why So Serious going flying in or the week seeing that magazine. Like that's pretty cool that they got that. They actually got a Batmobile out here. Well, I'm gonna be Joker today. I told Fitz, I got something for you. Watch what I do. I just had the Joker smile. I didn't have no shoulder shirt or nothing. And we ended up making plays and that ended up happening. I didn't know it was gonna be as big as it was though.
Oh dude, it let me tell you. It blew up. You got fined, correct? For that? You got fined for the shirt thing? Okay. So I absolutely loved it. It became you, by the way. Like everybody would know you for that. I still don't understand what's so bad about the shirt thing. And I don't have another clip, but you did get fined again for a Happy New Year's, which is ridiculous, by the way. A Happy New Year's, like, are you kidding me? I know you got benched, right?
I wasn't champ. One coach fought.
You were in the doghouse there.
I'm mad that I had to make coach do that though.
Right.
I definitely so they switched it up though on me. They said, okay, yeah, well you can write because I disputed. They're like, well, you can write on it something, but so and so touched you, and so they said now because it was a group celebration because CJ touched my shirt. They got to fine me for a group because you couldn't even do group celebrations then,
Right. By the way, that Bengals game, I did like a reaction video to that because I haven't seen it for a while. I remember it like in my memory, but I did a reaction video recently, just watching the highlights again. Like, and I just wanted to do it just straight up. What an unbelievable game that was. Down 21. That was the game that you did that. How'd that game go? Like, you're down 21. Like, what are you thinking right there? Are you guys like, by the way, you missed a field goal. Ryan Liddell, great kicker. You're down 21. Like, what's your thoughts as a player? Like, down that many points early, getting smoked by the Bengals in Cincinnati. Like, what's your thoughts right there?
As long as there's time on a clock, we can make something happen. I think that was the mentality. It wasn't like no movie or nothing all super intense, and you know what I mean.
Right.
But it was. I think we had one conversation. It was like a TV timeout, and then it was just a lot of stuff that was going wrong though. Like one play made like an interception, ran it back. It was like we knew it wasn't going ever. It was like that kind of feel. Like soon we gonna be able to roll. Then it was a TV timeout. I asked Fitz. I said, Fitz, what was the largest comeback you had? And he said, well, it was one time in St. Louis. We almost made a comeback and, got close. I was like, let's do it now. Like just throw it to me. Like,
by the way, you wind up smoking them like 49-31. Like that not only is that a comeback, but if you were to look at the score, you'd be like, damn, the Bills just romped them like without knowing like what happened. You know what I mean? Like, You scored 3 touchdowns that game. You had a hell of a game. Fred Jackson had, I believe, 2 touchdowns. Drayton Florence had a return fumble. Like, that was a really like awesome game. When I go back and when I reacted to that, I was like, wow, like so many unbelievable plays that happened in that game. Oh, dude, like, yeah, dude, like if Fitzpatrick, to his credit and throughout his career, he never cared. Like, okay, I threw 2 interceptions. All right, I'm still gonna throw a 55-yard bomb. I don't care. I'm gonna keep throwing it.
Who else?
He was a gunslinger. He
Right,
didn't care. Yeah,
exactly.
I loved it, man. I'm gonna get to another video. This is a throwback, by the way, of you and Bills Mafia.
You know, the term nation is thrown around with so many different sports teams. I don't think anybody else has a mafia.
But for months, no one knew about it until the Bills players themselves saw how the fans always had their backs and embraced the new term.
On Twitter, I get a negative person, I just retweet it, and the Bills Mafia get after them.
Y'all better watch what y'all say. The Bills Mafia go get y'all.
With the players talking about it, Bills Mafia blew up. In 5 days, over 750 new followers had joined the movement. Delmar created a logo and a website, BillsMafia.com.
Hey,
Look at young Stevie with the short hair. You remember that, by the way? That video?
Yeah, that's
doing that?
crazy. It feel like so like nostalgic, I guess, you know.
Yeah, Nick Barnett, by the way. So awesome player. I know he played for I think a season with Buffalo from Green Bay. He retweeted the Bills Yeah.
Yeah. He was
and then you jumped all over it, right? Like you were all over the Bills Mafia thing, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, without even thinking about Bills Mafia, I felt like I had to make a connection. You know, I always wanted to make a connection because my mindset was growing up, I never met an NFL person. I never, you know, so what would it be like to actually connect with a fan or do certain things and, you know, that you don't really get to see naturally. So when Dale and Bree and Leslie, when they showed that commitment to like, okay, let's approach these guys with the social media and all that, it was cool. You know, it was like, that's exactly what I've been looking for. You know, same with like the children's book, how that came up. I'm thinking about creating books. How am I going to touch the masses? And I can do something over here, and then somebody pop up, and naturally, this happened, this spark, and you know, it's been beautiful.
Right. I'm sure you met Del Reed a few times, right?
Yeah, all the time. Yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
That's
good guy, man. I actually work with Del Reed a little bit. I haven't really had a personal conversation with him, but I'm on fan base with him, and they're doing good things, man. He's always a big part of the Bills Mafia. Obviously, him and a few others created it. So I got a question here from Chris. Wants to know your 3 top receivers growing up. Like, who would you look up to? Who's your guys?
my 3 top. It was T.O. It was Deion Sanders. T.O.
Deion. Okay.
Steve Smith. Watching Steve Smith. You know, I didn't when it was the right time. I wasn't really watching it at that time. I started watching when T.O. started blowing up. Who did I say?
Steve Smith and Deion.
It'd be sad to be in there, you know what I'm saying? But I like Deion because he was different. He was a DB, but he'd go on offense and he'd catch a bomb. Like, he only get 3 or 4 plays, but he catching the bomb every time. Like, this dude is crazy. So yeah, I just like the mindset of him being an athlete, being a player. But Chad, I like Chad because he was different. He was doing stuff different. Everyone else. I like T.O. because he was having fun. Like I said, when I first went to a game, he was in there catching touchdowns and he was dancing, doing the bankhead bounce and stuff. I'm like, dang, yeah, you got somebody that's actually having fun out there. So those was my guys.
By the way, he's supposedly I think he's working out for a team or something like that. As of recent, like I heard, I forget what team. I don't remember the team, but somebody.
He get into the system where he can just sit in the holes, you know.
Yeah. Hey, look at T.Y. Hilton, man. He had a good. His guys that play football in a while. He had some good plays the other day for Dallas. So
yeah, just find
it is what it. What'd you think about Eric Moulds, real quick? I mean, I know it's my favorite player. So, did you ever
Yeah.
watch his game? Did you ever like watch his film?
Yeah, like you were saying, let's just say 10,000 yards. Let's give him an extra 1,000. You feel me? The things that like a lot of people be saying, "Oh, Stevie, you should probably be," but it's like, man, how could you even talk about me when you got this dude that was doing it? You know what I mean? Like
It
in a
was
tough.
weird with him, and when you watch his replay, because you know how it is, Stevie. Like with older film, it's tough to get on YouTube, like
Right.
or at least in like better like HD. Like it's really grainy, but man, like the stuff that's out on Eric Moulds, he's like always open.
Yeah.
By like a long shot. Like he had like deceptive speed or something. Like he ran great routes or something because he was always. And by the way, he made great one-handed catches before OBJ. I love OBJ. OBJ is a really good player. But Eric Moulds, nobody talking about. He was making one-hand catches before
Right.
OBJ, but nobody brings him up because he was on the Buffalo Bills. Like, and that's what I say about the drought years. And that's why I keep going back to that, because I felt like the Buffalo Bills had so many great players like you, like Fred Jackson. They don't really get noticed because bad teams, right? Bad records. Like it sucks. Like, I felt like Eric Moulds, like for instance, like he just doesn't get respect like other players will get. You know what I mean? Like if Eric Moulds was somewhere else with like a good team, it's not. Who knows where he would be in his career? Who knows if he won a Super Bowl or he had 15,000 receiving yards? You know what I mean? Like,
And
I
yeah.
feel bad for certain players that were on these bad teams with like, and he stuck it out. Like, it's weird. Like, for instance, for you, I want to ask you this. I guess we're on the topic. So I know you got traded to the 49ers, but let's say you didn't. Let's say hypothetically you didn't. How long would you stick it out until you said, man, it's not going anywhere, you want to trade? Like, were you the kind of person that were like, you know what, like Eric Moulds, for instance, he wrote it out 10 seasons. He didn't need to. We weren't going anywhere.
Yeah.
But like, would you have stuck it out, or would you eventually say, man, this is like my sixth coach. Like, I'm going anywhere. Like, what
Yeah,
would you do?
I'm thinking Bills all the way through. I
Okay.
wanted to be the first to do this. I wanted to be the first to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
So you were ride or die. This is the team that drafted me.
I
am here to stay no matter what. Okay. I respect that. That's what I respect about Eric Moulds, because he could have left. Like, he was the top of his game. There's no way you're telling me he didn't have an opportunity to eventually sign somewhere else, right? Like, you're a free agent, right? You eventually become a free agent. You can go anywhere you want.
right.
So I respect that.
You think about that now type of stuff, like, dang, man, I probably should have just left early and then probably came back. Who
Right,
knows? Like,
right.
but
I mean, look at Peerless Price. Now, Peerless Price, he's another guy that was a really good receiver and winded up leaving. I think he was traded. He was traded to the Falcons because they didn't want to pay him. Falcons wanted up giving him money, and he winded up coming back to Buffalo. Like,
right, and came back.
I don't know if you played with him or not, but he winded up coming back. But that's a player who wound up leaving. You know what I mean? Like they didn't want to pay, but I don't know, man. Like I kind of feel like that's a tough spot that has to be tough for a player that's on top of his game. Like, for instance, for you, you're on top. You're a 1,000-yard receiver, right? 3 times. For you not to say, man, it's just not going anywhere. Like, my career's, because the NFL, I think, is 3.5 years. Is that correct? Like the career lifespan of an NFL player. So, do you ever think, like, when you were with the Bills, do you ever think about that? Like, where you're like, man, who knows how long this is going to last? Like, should I go somewhere and win a ring? Or you were just, like you said, you were just die hard. You were going to stick with it.
Yeah, and then you think you can last forever or play forever, and the next year is going to be the year, and then you don't have serious injuries, But then once those injuries come in and you can't get out the bed, and then you can't take those pills, you got to do it a certain way. Then it started getting like, oh my goodness,
Right.
Maybe I left when I was fresher. You feel me?
Right. The thoughts come in your mind.
The thoughts. Yeah.
Right. The what ifs.
Yeah.
Doug Whaley. I want to mention him real quick. He got a lot of heat for Buffalo. I didn't care for him, but I didn't hate him. I know you were under him for, I believe, a season, correct? He's the one that traded you, correct?
Yeah.
He came in with the Doug Marrone. What's your thoughts about Whaley?
He was another one, kind of like Hackett in a sense. to where like they was just like assistant guys or just guys on the side. So I never really spoke to Whaley, so I don't have no stories about him.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't really know much
What
about
is that? By the way, real quick, I don't know to cut you off. When you get traded, how does that go? Like, what's the process like? So, do they call you? Are you in the stadium? Like, like how does that work? Like as a player, what's
Yeah.
going through your mind? All that good stuff. I want to
Yeah,
know.
you could be anywhere given the time. Given the time you get traded. At that time, I was going home. Actually, I was already going back to California. It was off season. It was about to be off season.
Wow.
So yeah. Then they told me.
What do they call you? Like, is
Yeah.
it Whaley? Like, who is it that calls you? Whaley? Or is it like his assistant? Or like, how does that exactly work?
To be honest, I don't even know. I just kind of knew. I already knew something was gonna happen. Like I'm telling Robert Woods, like just be prepared, bro. Like your time.
I love Robert Woods, by the way.
Was
good player, solid player.
Yeah, draft Robert Woods and draft Matt Barkley. That way you keep that connection from college. You feel me? And you have them here.
Right.
But anyway, yeah. So then I knew something was gonna happen, and I ended up getting a call from somebody. I don't even know who it was. I was just upset that it wasn't a call like you want to restructure or something,
Like, hey, here, pack your bag. It's right here.
Back home to the crib. That was perfect, great. Okay, but all this, man, come on now. All this stuff that I've been.
What's the process though? Like, so you get off the phone with him. Do you call your agent? Do you call your wife? Like, what do you do? Or I don't know if you were married at the time. Sorry, but
yeah.
Like, what's the next step? So you get off the phone. I'm sure you're like, what the fuck? Right? So you hang up, and then who do you call first? Your agent? And say, hey, what's the next step?
Let your family know. I let my wife know. Like,
okay, right. Okay, so you were married at the time.
Yep.
Okay. You're still, by the way, you still married? Same woman?
Yep.
Okay, awesome. Hey, kudos to you.
Thank you, brother.
That's tough. By the way. Happy wife, happy life. We were talking about that before.
I told you. Boss, go ahead. I don't care. You the boss.
Right.
But yeah, I called her like, yeah, we going back to the crib. She was excited.
Of course, going back to the Bay. Oh, okay.
Like I don't want to leave. Like, but it was cool. It was cool. She was upset though. She definitely was upset because she, obviously you see the ends of what you go through, put your body through, and then for them, say, okay, we go trade you to another team. You feel me?
Right. Like you're nothing. Right?
Yeah. New coach.
Piece of paper.
Like, okay, I guess that's what it was. That's what the type of stuff that make you think like I should have left before instead of thinking, oh, I can make it work with this team. Did
you and Doug, like, okay, so that was Doug's first year. You only played with him 1 year. Did you have like just not a really good vibe with him? And maybe you feel like why do you think you were traded? Like, why do you was it money? Was it just Doug not liking you as part of the offense? Like, what do you think ultimately was the decision to get you to move you to San Francisco? Just curious. Like, what was your thoughts?
I think it was the I mean, if you got to produce, I guess, you got to produce. If you don't produce, then you own a block. You feel me? So that's what anything and everybody. And then on top of, if you don't produce, you gotta deal with a whole coaching regime coming in that want to bring in their own players that may think that their system is appropriate. Once again, you run route just throwing it out like, hey, you run routes different. I need 1, 2, 3 type for this system. So I don't think this is going to work type of thing, So
do players call you, by the way, like EJ, Lee Evan? Like, do these guys reach out to you? Robert Woods, do they call you? Yeah, when you get traded, like, did you reach out to the players? Like, do you call the like, hey man, I can't believe it, I got traded? Like, did you call EJ and all them?
Most people know that's already in there. You know what I'm saying? If you basically in the locker room, you know. All right, so they already. Hey, man, yep, I see you on the field, this and that. Like, it ain't nothing like super bad. It's like, I'm gonna see
okay.
Preseason,
it's a business, basically. So players know, right, is what you're saying. Okay. Okay. So, but your thoughts on Marone, not just it is what it is. You didn't know him too well.
He was cool. He's just a robot coach. You know what I'm saying? Like, some robots can adjust and be hybrids. He was strictly robot, and that's all.
I mean, you saw. I mean, no offense, but you saw how his career went in the NFL, right? Like, didn't last too long. All right, so I mean, listen. When he first came, I had a little hopes for him because he had like a winning record. I believe his first year. I want to say, like teams were like Bills Mafia was kind of like okay, you know what I mean? Like, but you can kind of see I mean, at least to me, a little shady in a weird way, and it winded up being that way. He winded up quitting on the Bills, didn't work out in Jacksonville, and I don't know. I have no idea where he went from there. So I mean, that just tells you everything you need to know because I have no idea where Saint Doug went, but it wasn't probably anywhere good or NFL related because I have not heard that guy's name in many, many years. So until now that we're talking about him. So back to Bills Mafia real quick. So you have been I gotta say, one of the biggest Bills Mafia ex-football players like that represent to the fullest. How's that been? Like you going to the draft, by the way, like calling it the draft pick, you got to feel honored, right? Like, did the Bills call you to do stuff like that?
Yeah, it's about making those connections. Hopefully we can get little pieces of history that you can be a part of. And being a part of the draft, I wasn't able to walk a stage or whatnot. So when I heard about it, it was pretty cool. But at the same time, I was given this honor 2 or 3 years prior, and at that time we had a super fan, Bills Mafia. We had Pancho, and
rest in peace, man.
Yeah,
Golly.
Yeah. And I seen how he was loved in the community, and like, shoot, yeah, I didn't get a chance to walk the stage, but I did get drafted. I did play in the league. Let's have a fan. Can Pancho go instead of me? You know what I'm saying? And they was like, yeah, it's cool. And
that was awesome, by the way. Yeah. That was really awesome. That was really that was stand up when they did that. I believe he did it in the hospital. His very last year that he was around, man. That was awesome.
So I thought that was pretty dope, and I didn't think that the Bills would ask me again, but they ended up asking me in Vegas. It was pretty cool, man. It was a good feeling. It was a good vibe, good atmosphere. I got to call out Cook. It was pretty dope.
Yeah, James Cook, who by the way is starting to the game's starting to slow down for him.
Right.
I've been saying that. By the way, real quick. So going back, I'm glad you brought it up. Your 7th round draft pick. Like going into the draft, did you feel like you were going to get drafted earlier, or did you feel like that's where you were going to go late 6th, 7th round? And were the Bills on your radar? Like, were the Bills did you feel like another team was like checking you out more or calling you or having you in for workouts? How does that go? How does the draft process go?
Yeah, the draft process is a dope process. You want to know the day or just like that whole build up?
Just in general. So leading up to the draft, like I'm guessing you have an agent, right? You have an agent by that time, correct?
Shout out my agent, CJ LaBoy. He from day one, he came and met me in Kentucky with my wife. We had recycled furniture. You feel me? By the trash cans. You know what I'm saying? He came and met me, and he took care of me or whatnot. But as far as the draft day go, I thought I was gonna go in the 4th round or so. We had a couple bowl Tennessee, and I knew I seen Tennessee Titans had a 4th round pick. And I figured that's where I'll probably land because I killed it there back-to-back years. And 4th round came by, and it wasn't my name being called.
Now you're at home, right? You're at home because usually in that later round, players at home, correct?
Yeah.
Or you're okay.
Yeah, I'm at home.
By the way, you played Kentucky 2 seasons, correct? Two. Okay. So you declared early.
2 years in junior college, and then I went 2 years in Kentucky.
Okay.
So yeah, I basically played early. I didn't get to graduate until actually 2020. I went back and graduated, but during that time, I left early to pursue this NFL. But so 4th round came by. I didn't get called. I was like, man, what's going on? So from there, it was cool though, because I wasn't too upset because it was wild. That Titan team ended up selecting one of my friends, Lavelle Hawkins, and he was like a player that was coming up in the Bay Area also. So it was pretty dope. Like, you know, it was kind of like you can't be upset. That's your boy getting picked. And then, you know, some of my other teammates was getting selected. Keenan Burton, then Andre Woodson, Jacob Tammy. And it was like, dang, you can't really be upset because your boys who you really grind with and hustle with, that they probably wouldn't have looked at you guys if y'all didn't have those type of seasons, those battles with each other. You know, they was getting picked. So I'm like, man, if they in there and we have more good players, I know I can probably get in as an undrafted. I think Dallas ended up calling, talking about, hey, we looking at taking you if nothing happens. So I was just preparing for, okay, I guess I got to go not get drafted, but go out there and still get a chance. And then the Bills called out of nowhere. And like I was sleeping. Like it got past the 4th, 5th round, and I was laying down on the couch with my lady. And then I got a call.
Who was it at that time? Who it wasn't?
Coach April.
It was De'Ron, right? It was De'Ron at the time.
Yeah, De'Ron
right?
was the coach, but April was the special teams coach. And,
okay.
Yeah, he called, and hey, this is Coach April. You know, you ready to be a Buffalo Bill? I'm ready, Coach. Let me know what I got.
Is that the longest? Like, by the way, like that process as a, I mean, you're a kid. You're a teenager, right? You're not even. I mean, how old are you there? 20, 21, maybe?
No, I was 19. I turned 20. I mean, 20 in the July.
I mean, right. You're basically a kid. You're not even old enough to drink yet. So technically,
right.
So,
yeah,
I mean, that has to be like. I mean, did you sleep well? Like, I mean, like, I don't know. I'm just trying to put myself in that predicament. Like, like for instance, leading up to this for me and you tonight, I didn't get much sleep last night. I got to be honest with you. Like, you are top dog. I am so honored and grateful that you came on tonight. I did not get a lot of sleep, like thinking how I'm going to do this. Don't make any mistakes. It just was a long night for me, tossing and turning. So like, I'm guessing you're like those days, like day 1, day 2, day 3, like were they just like long and like, were you like getting any sleep? Like, how did that go? Like your mind hadn't been swirling, right?
Yeah, well, I knew day 1 I wasn't gonna get picked. I knew I wasn't getting picked 1st or 2nd or 3rd, so I wasn't really thinking about that. So that was cool. I'm just waiting to see which one of my friends are gonna get picked, so I can send them a message. And then once day 2 come around, that's when I was like, okay, now I'm interested. I'm locked in.
You're on the board. There's got to be somewhere.
I'm thinking 4th round for sure. Like there's no way. 4th round came and went. I was furious, but once again, like I said, I couldn't really know it much. And I called my agent. I was like CJ, what's going on? Like, it's like, well, that's how. Like we don't know. We just gotta not like understood. Like okay, let me just chill. And like once again, my teammates would get picked, and once then my phone ended up ringing later on. We was laying down at the time. 5th round went by, 6th round went by. We was knocked.
That is so rough. 7th round, the last round, of all rounds.
The last.
Oh my God, Stevie. So, so that you're 7th round, right? Is it like more motivation for you, by the way? Like going to Buffalo, going, okay, like whatever team, but is it more motivation? Like going, I'm going to grind. I'm going to show them that like all these other teams, they made a mistake. Like in your head?
Dang, to be honest, no, that wasn't even my thought. Like,
wow. Okay.
First of all, just being picked was like, dang, coming from Hunter's Point, coming from where I came from, not even going to football camps. Like I wasn't in the football life. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't in that realm. I was just doing, like, I'm just trying to get out, or I'm trying to, you feel me, do what I want.
It was an honor. Right. Yeah, you were just like blessed to be drafted, period.
Like,
is what you're saying.
Yeah, like I actually drafted. So once they did that, I wanted to prove them right, So I was on a mission for that. I wasn't on a mission thinking about 7th rounders don't get picked. I didn't even know that world, that how they was even talking about rounders and all that. It was just they picked me, so they want me to make a difference. So I gotta go show them that I can make a difference wherever I go.
Right.
And so, that's one thing that prevailed me, that kept me pushing on my way up to the top of the roster.
Were you ever worried about not making the team? Like, was there ever a time? Because I know you got 2008, and then you got 2009 was a back step for you because of your injuries or whatever. Was there ever a time where you're like, oh man, like this may not work out? I mean, like, were you ever worried about getting cut?
My first year, I didn't think I didn't know. I was really like, I didn't know what can happen, because once again, you look on message boards and it's like, we don't really sign 7th round guys or this and that, so there's nobody that I can really look at and say, oh, this dude made it or something like that. But it wasn't nobody in my position that I can look at. So, instead of engulfing myself in that, mentally, I just said, hey, look, James, like, me and you go be the difference. We go be the future. You feel me?
Right.
Let's just put the work in, and that just kept my head down and kept going from there, But the fans, I think, helped me out a whole lot.
Yeah. Listen, I remember, that's what I told you in the beginning. I remember your name. Like in 2008, Bills Mafia is weird like that. We always go for like certain players that are like underdogs, right? Like, or like late round picks or guys, free agents that we picked up. And you were one of them. Like for me, like I was like, Stevie, Kentucky. Like I saw your highlights. I'm like, man, this guy's pretty damn good. And then you had like a good camp. Like I was following you, And Bills Mafia does that, man. We really do. Like there's guys now. Not everybody works out. Like I was a Duke Williams fan. I like Duke Williams. I know you remember him. Duke, and you remember Bills Mafia was all for Duke Williams when he was here, and I still think. The problem with Duke, I think Duke was just, unfortunately, it was a little bit too late for him. Like I think if he was a little bit earlier in his career, he might have worked out. I think I could be wrong, but I like Duke Williams. Then you got guys like Christian Wade, right? He's from Europe. He never played once again, another guy, I was like, why don't you try him a kick return? He's a rugby player. Like that's probably what he does. Like, but we never did it. And he was a little older at the time. He came a little late. But there's always a guy. I'm telling you, man, Bills Mafia loves these like guys that they're underground. Like just Isaiah Hodgins is another guy. Like Bills Mafia left him, but unfortunately, he got picked up. And look, he's doing good in New York. Like he's starting to make a name for himself. So, but yeah, you were one of them, man. You really were. I was like, man, Steve, something about this guy, and it wound up working out, man. It did. I want to get on to the new Bills, the 2022 Bills, this new team. I want to get to a receiver, Gabe Davis. I like him. Bills Mafia likes him too, but there's a lot of, I think right now, Bills Mafia is a little up and down with Gabe, right? He's having a kind of a rough season. I don't think it's that bad. He has almost 800 yards receiving. Right. By the way, I want to throw this out here, which is a crazy stat. Only 2 times that I remember, I could go way back, but there's been 1,000-yard receivers, 2 of them on the same team. So you got Eric Moulds, Peerless Price in 2002, and 1991 was Andre Reed and James Lofton. Since then, nothing. So, right? Like, that's wild to think, right? So, like, he has 800 yards. Like, can he pick up 200 yards? I don't know. It's possible.
I was hoping he can pick up 200
like you and Lee Evans could have done it maybe, but is it harder? Is it harder than it looks like to have 2,000-yard receivers like on the same team?
No, it is not. It's not, especially in this.
But why is it such a big, like, you know what I mean? We haven't had one since 2002. We're talking about 20 years, right? Like, why is that such a what do you think that, like, why is that such a long streak of not having 2? Like, we almost had it with Cole Beasley. Remember, Cole Beasley had, I think he was like 50 yards short.
Yeah.
In 2020 with Stephon Diggs, but it doesn't count, right?
But that's the first time you had a playmaker, a gunslinger like Allen coming in, throwing the ball like that, and Beasley was a veteran, when he came in. You know,
Right.
usually you got one guy. We're so stuck in that one-dimensional way. You got one guy, and then if somebody else come in, oh, you can get rid of this person, or you swaying it, and you barely getting the passes. Because if you think about it, 1,000 yards is really only like 70, 80 yards a game or something like that. You know,
Especially now, it's 18 weeks. It's another
yeah,
game added compared to when you were playing.
exactly. So it's like nowadays it should be super easy with these type of mindsets and these quarterbacks nowadays and these schemes. But back then, I would just say it was a lot of those situations. You know.
Yeah, like Drew Bledsoe was, Drew Bledsoe kind of reminded me of a little bit like Fitzpatrick. Like he threw it up for his receivers. He gave him an opportunity. And that's why I think why that team was like offensively special, but didn't work out. But what's going on with Gabe Davis? I'm just curious, like, what's your thoughts about Gabe Davis? Is that ankle injury really kind of affecting him throughout the season? Like, is it affecting his catches? Because he's having a lot of drops this year. Like, that's the thing, he's struggling. Buffalo Bills, by the way, last in drop percentage. Like, what do you think's going on with Gabe? Like, why hasn't he like gotten to where he should be this year?
Dang, what is this? His third year or his fourth year?
It's his I believe it's his third. He was drafted in 2020. So 2020. Yeah, it's his third season. Because he was drafted in 2020. Third round, I believe.
I feel like he's actually doing good. You know, like of course
I do
we don't
too. Yeah.
like of course, you know, some drops be in certain situations, some if it's easy, like damn, that happens. We don't want that, of course. But if you think about it, like you don't really understand. If you a player in this league and you're not out by your third year, it really start at your third year, dang near. You know,
Right.
he's enough to be in the fire from since his first and somewhat second year, but he also had Stephon Diggs to come in and Cole Beasley to come in.
Right. John Brown
to come in, you know, so he's been able to been groomed in a sense, what EJ Manuel didn't kind of get, you feel me? But
right.
now this is his first year to really be that second guy or that second option, you know what I mean? That guy in that role. So it's only going to be up from here. And like you said, he's 200 yards away. Hey, let's come out the gate and throw a few hitches, the slants, in the bombs, a post maybe, and yeah, he'll have 1,000. You know.
Does ankle injuries though? I got to ask because I'm not obviously I'm a football player, but the ankle like injuries like that because clearly it was a bad injury. He sat for a couple weeks. Yeah, it was like a freak injury in practice. But does that like as a player, like as a receiver? Does that kind of mess you up with your like? Is it mental? Like, do you not want to cut a certain way and like catch it? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think it is. I could be wrong, but like, I almost like I played basketball when I was younger. I broke my ankle, and when I came back like a year later, I never like mentally was the same. Like, I knew like I couldn't drive to the hoop. Like, it was in my mind. You know what I mean? Like, so like. Is that possible? It's like just something like maybe he's just not doing what he wants because it's still there in his mind, or maybe it's still hurting, or what do you think?
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's just something lingering. But I know those ankle injuries suck, like especially when you get a high ankle, have one step,
dude.
and you can't really get your push off your, you know what I mean? But and then it gets cold out there. You got to get your foot in, you know. But ultimately, I don't know if that's stopping him from really, you know, excelling and being a better player. You know, I think if he's out there, he's able. I think that was the mindset all players have. You can suit up, you able to go. I think it'll just get better as he's able to heal in the off season, you know, and be fresh.
Did you wear gloves? Did you wear gloves, by the way? I don't recall you wearing gloves. Did you?
At practice, I wouldn't, but like games, yeah, I put gloves on.
Okay, okay. And what about cleats? Like, was there certain cleats you were in certain games, like snow games or wet games? Like, was there certain cleats that you had to have, like that you had better traction with?
Grass fields, you might want to use a little bit longer cleat or not the screw ins, you know.
Okay.
So like nowadays, I think the turf is pretty cool, I would say.
What do you think about that, by the way, turf and grass? Because Von Miller's saying he hates it. Like he wants to do away with it. Like he thinks the NFL should do away with it. There's been tests that says turf is the same thing. Like there's players that say there's giveaway on grass. Like, what do you think? You played on both, so.
Exactly. I played on both, and then you got to understand there's different types of turfs. You know, some turfs is
Right.
good, some are bad, and then same with the grass. Like some grass fields are super good, some grass fields are terrible. You know, and then when you add in the elements of like rain or mud or coldness, it's even worse. You know, so you know who knows what the big deal is about it. Maybe who knows what it is.
He was saying something like when he like Von Miller at least he was saying like after playing on a turf game, like it felt like his body ached a lot more than on grass. Is that true, or you didn't have that?
Um, I
Like, does your
feel like
body just ache in general?
yeah, I think in general, yeah, I feel like in general, so I wouldn't really think like, oh man, it was played on the grass field or a turf field today. Yeah, that's why. Like, I think it
Okay.
was though.
Like what is that, by the way? That like time like what does it take for like or you play your game Sunday, let's say Sunday. You play a game at 1:00. What is the turnaround time for you to feel like back to being like, okay, I'm good? Like, does it take a couple days? Like for
Yeah,
your body
like
to rest?
around Tuesday, you'll be back. You'll be back about
You'll,
yeah, ready to go on Wednesday. You know, but
okay.
that's Sunday. That Sunday, like not Sunday morning. I'm sorry, the Monday. And then that begin early Tuesday. You got to get through the motions of it though. You know, it's like an
Right.
icicle. I would want to let you guys envision. You know, if you don't shatter all that stuff off, you feel me? You gonna be stuck and you gonna be hurting. So you can't really sleep in. You gotta get up and go do those
Got to
therapy.
do it. You got to get to it. Like, okay. Um, real quick, Bill's media, national media, media in general. There's a guy in Buffalo. A lot of people don't. Players are not
Yeah,
fond with Jerry Sullivan. I don't know if
yeah.
you ever ran into him, but
Oh yeah.
how do you deal with that as a player? Like, do you just have to just let it like roll off your shoulder? Like, or like, does it affect you? Do you hear the national media? Like, I know. Listen, I'm gonna bring up something, and I remember this game to the fullest, and I know you do. The
Yeah.
Pittsburgh game, and
Yeah.
I know you. And that's kind of how Bills Mafia started, by the way, for everybody. It was around that time. So you had a major drop. And I know you were
Terrible.
upset. Of course. Like, who else is going to be the player that dropped the is going to be the most upset? How did that go? Like going in front of media, talking like what talk to us about that, because you're not the only guy. Obviously, there's players that fumble big plays, right? Like, what is
Yeah.
that feeling like, man?
Dude, it just sucked because it was the first time for me to not make a play in a situation like that. Like I've never not made a play. And then like we get all the way to this level and then the easiest play. Like how is this
What
happening?
happened, by the way? I want to know. Is it
Look,
just
man.
you were just too open, or just like
Look,
I know it's tough. You dropped it, but what happened there? What do you think? Like going back in time, if you like, what do you think you did wrong? I'm just curious. Was it
look,
just hey, it is what it
I would
is?
say,
You dropped it.
look, just look it in, I would say. You know, I was already just like
It was
just easy.
easy
Yeah,
peasy,
yeah.
right?
You know, so I think that's it. And, you know, ultimately the bigger thing was like you gotta handle your business first. You gotta look
Right.
at everything like that first before you think about what you go do
The
with
next
the,
step,
you know,
right?
yeah. So
Oh man,
so
dude, you have no idea. By the way, I watched that game live. When that ball hit you, I was already going. "Ugh."
man,
I was
look,
and I was
once once we came out the huddle, I'm like, man, I've been effing up all damn game. Like I don't understand how I missed it. But look, as I look back, I know why I missed it though. I was
all
catting off.
right. So this is great. I want to know.
Yeah. No, I was catting off. Like, so it's like you gotta have the vision. Me, I need to have the vision. Like I'm a visual learner. I watch film a lot. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't really I just figured I show up against them and they can't stop me anyway. I know my talent, my attributes is none of these guys can guard me and keep up with me. But
Right.
I would use that mindset, but also I'm watching film and stuff. But this one, I wasn't really tripping off that. You know, I was like, I'm going against the number one defense. I'm about to go in against them and prove that I ain't even watched no film on them. I ain't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? and ultimately I didn't see it through. You know, that's the bigger picture of it. And then you get to that situation, it's like you don't even see it through because you think, oh, you once again you tricked your mind with, oh, coming out the huddle, a one-on-one with this dude, oh, and one safety.
You made by the way, you made a great move. By the way, like
easy,
everything
simple. It's simple stuff.
Yeah, everything was
Simple.
great. But obviously now you look back and it's not, obviously it doesn't, that wasn't a Super Bowl. You know, so like it
was big because once again, like if you look back at all my football plays throughout my life, you know what I mean? It's just the play always is made. You know, I've messed up that one.
But I will say this though, Stevie. I wonder if it wasn't for that play. I mean, I could be wrong. But would Bills Mafia be here? Like, would it be, because it kind of developed there, like, which is odd. I know, but like I'm a true believer in everything happens for a reason. Like I am. Like everything's set. Yeah. Like, do you believe that? Do you believe that? Like it was just kind of like, even though it was a bad thing, it kind of worked out to be a good thing. Like Bills Mafia kind of blossomed and it got behind your back, and like you kind of saw this rally of Bills fans. It could have been, because you know how fans are. It could have been total opposite. Like some fans are ruthless, right? Oh, trade this guy, fuck this guy, the worst ever. And I kind of felt like it was the opposite. Like it was kind of, so weird way, right? It was a good thing. It was a weird way.
But
thank you, Stevie.
And if I still, it would have been still big because we was already repping, like we was already had shirts going.
That is true.
Really getting this vibe going. That I guess accelerated it. You know what I mean? I guess it accelerated.
Yeah, but hey, it goes to show you how loyal the fan base is, though. Because, like I said before, like you know how it is. Like every sport, not just football. I'm talking about just sports in general, right? Like, oh, this guy's the worst, right? Like, and I kind of felt like Bills Mafia, man, we're just a different fan base. Like, there's some jerks. I'm not saying like all of us. Like, of course, there's always that one or two fans. You know it. You're on social media.
Family, you know what I mean?
Right. Like, it's tough for me because I do a podcast. You know how it goes. Like, we gotta say the good and the bad, like how we feel.
Yeah.
And it's tough. It's tough sometimes because you're in the heat of the moment. You know, when you're in the heat of the moment, sometimes you're not really looking at the big picture. You're kind of just, boom, this guy, what the hell are you doing? Back play calling. But you know, afterwards, you're kind of like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have said that, or maybe I get why, or now I saw the play, maybe this guy. So like, I get it. But I will say this though, as a ex football player, you're like, I'm sure you watch basketball, something, baseball. Like, I'm sure you're tough on, you criticize some of your teams that your favorite team, right? I'm sure you have some. You've tweeted stuff out, correct? That you're like, how could he, whatever, blow the layup or miss a shot? Like, I'm sure you've done that, right? No?
I don't.
Really? Oh, wow. Okay. Because I've seen players do that, by the way. Like, matter of fact, like a lot of former players go into broadcasting, for instance.
They turn
and a lot of those guys hated media. Like, and now they're, you know, Shaq, Charles Barkley, like a lot of these guys. Steve Smith, like they're critical, but they hated it when they were on the field or on the court. Like, it's just funny how it works out.
I feel like some of them though, they go in there to try to make a change. You know, I feel like some of them go in to make a change, and some of them go in there just, I guess, to make money and try to get the social likes.
Your boy's in it, by the way, Ryan. By the way, Ryan Fitzpatrick doing a great job.
Does a great job with it. Yeah.
He's really doing good. I like that. Fits
Eric Wood also, he does the commentating.
Yes, Eric Wood. He's done it. So, another guy that stuck around. He did. I think he did some college, and he went. He did Buffalo Bills stuff. I think you would. By the way, I know you did. Why So Serious podcast for a little while. Are you starting that? By the way, you starting that back up anytime soon or next season?
I want to, but I want to get the right group, you know, and I wanted to do something a little bit different. You know, I wanted to have, you know,
outside the box
podcast. Okay. Yeah, I wanted to have it to be all female, the main host.
Okay.
You know, but I'm just looking for it to be a good flow. You know, I don't want to force.
I think you want it to be right. You want it to feel right. I got you. We're gonna get off soon. I know you've been on for longer than expected.
We
We're
vibing,
about to get off. Yeah, I feel, bro. Listen, I told you, man. I appreciate you coming on, by the way. Real quick, so we're gonna get back to the 2022. So Ken Dorsey, brand new coach, brand new offensive coordinator. How do you feel he's done? Like, he's got another guy that's gotten some heat from Bills Mafia. I personally, I love the guy. I'm a Hurricane fan. I grew up in South Florida. It's my only Miami team I like, by the way. I hate the fucking Dolphins. Excuse my French. I can't stand the Miami Dolphins. But I love the Hurricanes. Ken Dorsey, awesome quarterback. I watched him play at college. Man, I think he's done good. He's not great, but he's a rookie OC, just like a player would be, kind of, right? Like how do you feel Ken Dorsey's done? Do you think he's done good up until this point? Like, with the offense?
Definitely. You know, we 13-3. Are we 13-3?
We are we got 2 games left, so we are 12-3.
12-3. We 12-3, like, and we questioning our you know what I'm saying? Like, we're not
dude,
us.
And we're top 5 off.
People are, you know. First off, I support Ken Dorsey, though, because a California kid, you know, and then end up going all the way to Miami, which was something that I actually looked into when I came up and went up going to Kentucky. You know, it's like, okay, we got a California person going to a different state and, you know, being able to play with those guys. So, yeah, shout out to him. But, yeah, I think he's doing good. And, yeah, first year. And then you got this team that you got. Could you imagine, like, James Cook not having Singletary or Hines coming in? You know what I mean? Like, it'd be tough for them. That's what they, you know, that's tough for anybody. So,
and not only that, like, you know, I always tell people, I'm like, listen, you know, you gotta. I always tell people, take a step back before you judge. Look at what's going on through the whole season so far. Look at the record, right? You can't tell me that at this point you would think the Bills are 12-3 with all the injuries,
right?
The offensive line mixing and shuffling because it is what it is, right? Guys aren't healthy, guys getting hurt, whatever.
We have a full team, yeah,
right. And listen, there's another guy too that gets a little heat. Now he's starting to get a little love. Devin Singletary, love him. I saw him at FAU. I tweeted out before the Bills drafted him, like, you got to draft this guy. He's available in third. I think he's a really workhorse, tough kid, good kid. He's a team guy. Like, he's just a guy, like, he's willing to do whatever it takes.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, because everyone's like, oh, 5'7". I'm like, dude, that guy's 210 pounds, bro. Like,
yeah,
that's a dude, right? He's a big dude. Like, he's a bowling ball.
Yeah.
And I think, like you said, James Cook, I think it took a little bit for him, but now the game's kind of slowing down, and you're kind of seeing him hit the holes, be more patient, at least in my vision. And you're seeing a much better running game. And I think Ken Dorsey was kind of stuck early on with James Cook because maybe the game is going a little bit too fast. I could be wrong. Maybe that's why I'm going to ask you about how do you think about James Cook early on compared to now? Was it just the game is going a little bit too fast? He was trying to do too much.
It was a little bit of you know, your attributes play a part in where they want to put you instead of just really understanding where we need to have you at. You know what I'm saying? So maybe they just only had him on stretch plays or something that's going towards the sideline where you don't really have wiggle room. Maybe he wants to line up in the slot and catch a quick bubble pass to get warmed up, you know, but you got to learn that stuff as you go throughout a season, you know? And I think that's what they was doing. They was just learning, what can we get away with? How can we show this guy without really overexposing and kind of, I guess, breaking them, you know? And I think that's where, like, a lot of the other guys like Tywan Jones and once again, Devin Singletary came in to, you know, keep a peace of mind, I would say, because his skills is going to be there. Once he, like, as you see, it's happening later on in the season, more reps and all that. But, like, man, could you imagine middle of year 2, 3, going into 3, you know what I'm saying? And that's when it's really go click and you go find your comfort in this offense, you know, with Josh Allen standing next to him and understand, okay, yeah, I know during this play he most likely he go check to me or something, or I should, you know what I mean? Like, you learn certain things.
On the same. Do you think that takes a little while, by the way, like for a quarterback? Because I always think that about Josh Allen, for instance, for Josh, like him and Diggs kind of like you and Fitz had like a connection right away, right? Like it just was there. I kind of feel like Allen, it takes him a little bit to have a trust. Do you think that's like that's real? Like a quarterback needs to kind of have that trust factor before he throws the ball, like looks your way. Like I
Yeah.
kind of feel like James Cook early on, like even something like Hines, by the way. Like Hines is dynamic. He's a speed, like you could see like he's a dynamic, but I kind of feel like Allen's kind of like holding off, like because he doesn't have that like connection with him yet. Is that a real thing you think with quarterbacks and receivers and running backs?
Yeah, and I probably wouldn't put it towards connection, like personal type connection. It's just getting acclimated to the playbook.
Okay.
Once again, like maybe that'll take like 2-3 weeks of straight work, of straight grinding. So Hines should be getting more and more comfortable. But yeah, it is a real thing. You gotta put in some work, put in that time during, whether it's an off day or whatnot. Like that was one thing that I really respected Kaepernick about. Kaepernick was getting a lot of heat around social media and stuff, and me being a different type of receiver, I wanted to come in and make plays, but I know he not you kind of used to this. So I asked him, let's get some work in the off day, and he was there. Like, let's get it. We was there for a couple hours.
Right. Yeah, I forgot you played with Kaepernick, man.
Mm-hmm.
I you know what? I totally forgot about it. I guess go real quick, right back. How was Kaepernick as a player, like as a teammate?
Yeah,
I don't know much about him. I just know that obviously I know everything what happened, but how was he like just as a teammate?
Yeah, he was a really good teammate. He was a really good teammate. He was a worker. He always was out there trying to get better. Once again, off days, things like that. He was one of those young kids that was heavy in the media too. He came off a Super Bowl. The way he got in, it was he ripped it up. So he was also going through like the ups and downs type of thing. And you can tell that was going on. Along with his coach being in a dispute with the management. It was like one of them things, seeing a kid handle 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things and trying to be the starter.
Right. In the media.
Right.
And fan base. Like he had a lot on it. Like he had a lot on his plate, man. That'd be tough. That's tough, man. I don't know. That's really, really tough for certain. I think I feel bad for certain players. I mean, listen, it's not for everybody. Especially quarterbacks too. They get so much weight on their shoulders, man. Like, I mean, think about it, like Johnny Manziel. I mean, it wasn't made for him, but man, he's first round pick. Like teams are expecting a lot.
Yeah, my thing, I don't feel sorry.
I don't feel now. Exactly. Now he was a.
Yeah.
He really felt himself now, but you also got guys like the guy from Tim Tebow. Good guy, great college quarterback.
Yeah.
Just like,
hey, look, I still think Tebow is good. Like, I still think he is good. Like, yeah, he got some plays where it's
I'll tell you what.
But
I tell you what. You know how I see Tebow? I see Tebow as the guy for the Saints, Taysom Hill.
Yeah.
I think if Tebow was in today's, like right now, with like a Saint, whatever, like if somebody like a team like the Saints were to treat him like that, he would work. Like I think, like as a gadget type quarterback.
Right.
But I think it was too late. Yeah, I think it was too late in his career.
They talk about him. But yeah. I think he was a game. Like I played against him in college. That's why I kind of see it different. Like I see with Josh Allen, I noticed he was a California kid already. You know what I mean? Junior college. But we already know about this stuff. I was going to go to Wyoming, so we knew about this kid.
So you knew about Josh?
He always killed it throughout the ranks out in on the West Coast. So when he went out to Buffalo, I'm like, man, they got a playmaker right there. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, okay, I didn't know that. I didn't know you knew about Josh early on. Okay.
Yeah.
Like I was all listen. It was funny, Stevie. So when the draft came, I don't know if you like. I mean, I know you're on Twitter, but I would say like it was mixed. I would say half of Bills Mafia wanted Josh Rosen, not me. I was not on that train. I was on the Allen train. I thought he had the size. I liked his personality.
Exactly.
Right? He was humble. right? Like,
And he was
like
playing in Wyoming. I don't know if you've been to Wyoming.
like,
It's just like Detroit. Yeah, it get cold like
just
Detroit.
like, yeah, exactly. So he had the he was he was like made for Buffalo.
Right,
But
exactly.
what I think what sold me more with him was like just his personality. Like I thought just that he was a good kid, like he was gonna give it all. Like he had heart,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and really that's what it's about. Like you're gonna
Exactly.
put that work in.
He is
You're
not
gonna
a
put
robot.
that grind. It's not a robot, right? And like, bro, the one thing I respect the hell out of Josh Allen was like he was never satisfied. And I don't know if it still is. Like he's always trying to like get better, right? He's always like taking responsibility, right? Like no matter what, even if it's not his fault, he could have a perfect game. He still will say, nah, I don't know, I miss him.
How old is he? How old is Josh?
God, so he's
26?
I think he's like 25. I could be wrong, but he's young. I think he's
crazy.
25, actually. I think I saw something. He's 25.
That's crazy.
He's young kid, man. But taking the world on his shoulders, man. Taking the world on his shoulders. Speaking of Josh Allen, he got back one of his receivers, Cole Beasley, who was also a guy. You know what happened with Cole, right? So Cole, 2021.
So what happened? What he said he don't want to take a shot, and everybody got on him.
All right, so I guess I'll give you the quick breakdown. I'll give you the quick breakdown because it's 2 hours in. So the quick breakdown was in 2020. We all know what happened, right? We all know we all been here. Cole Beasley is one of those players, which I respect. Doesn't bite his tongue, right? And that's okay. Like I respect that. And he was against it. He was against whatever was happening. Yeah. And a lot of Bills Mafia, not a lot, I would say some, were getting on him, right? Like, why wouldn't you do this? Your team. And I think he kind of felt like in 2021, the fan base was pushing him out or like rooting against them somehow, right? Like, and the fan base, which is weird, Stevie, I want to tell you this. So they say bees, right? Like when he's in Buffalo. Mm-hmm. He thought they were saying boo. And I'm sure there were some people saying boo. I'm sure. Right. Idiots. Some idiots. And he took it the wrong way. And he was like, I'm playing for, they're booing me.
Right.
And ultimately, him and Brandon Beane at the end of 2021 came to an agreement just saying, hey, look, I'm not, it's not working out. Like, I think it's time for us to just mutually go away. And, Brandon Beane, that tells you a good GM right there. Because he was like, hey, I get it. And he let him go, right? Like, no hard feelings. I get it. If you're not comfortable, your wife's not comfortable. Because I think it was like a family thing too. And Cole Beasley, which is weird. I got to say, NFL is funky. Top NFL slot receiver does not get signed by any team, which is a little weird for me. I don't know. Yeah. But Tampa signs him late. And I think he went there and he was just like, it's not for me, right? Yes. And he quit. He retired from football. And I think he reached out to our receivers coach, Chad Kelly, and
such a blessing.
And he's back. And listen, I think it's great for Josh. I think it's great for Cole Beasley. We need it. Like, what's your thoughts on McKenzie real quick? I like McKenzie. I just don't know if he's a true slot. I think what McKenzie offers the Bills, which I love, is more of a gadget type receiver who could do slots and motions. It just do it all. Pretty much be everywhere on the field. But I don't know if he's a true slot. What do you think about McKenzie's game?
No, I've actually been checking out his game because I got a lot of McKenzie questions, and so I really tapped in with him. And I've seen the development as far as being comfortable as a receiver on certain plays, and not just who you are as like that gadget player. I know they're not me. He's in the mindset of, okay, maybe it's not coming to me, but I've been playing with this kid Allen for a while, so I know that something may happen. So I'm gonna stay alive, So he knows how to serve his routes and his position on the field. So I've been really happy to see that. And his separation, he does little stutter moves to get past first level guys, which I really like. Which helps Josh, because now you got this guy on the left with McKenzie, and you got Beasley now, and you may have a tight end sitting in the hole or over the top. You know,
Right.
so I've been seeing how he's been able to work his route. So I'm proud of how he's been developing.
Yeah. And he's a
Yeah,
good guy, man.
message. Yeah,
He's a good he's a good like he's a good teammate. He's like a Devin Singletary to me. By the
right.
way, a guy that was on Denver's practice squad back in I believe 2018. He's our longest tender receiver. Like he's been on the team the longest for Allen.
Yeah.
So got to give him something. Got to give him some kind of love. I think Bills. You know how it is. Fans are a little tough. Fans are a little
Oh yeah,
tough.
yeah. Hey, that was what I want to say about Beasley's situation. Like it can be 25 people that's talking bad. You know what I'm saying? And if we attack that 25 or that 2, it can get looked at different as if we attacking everybody else. And that's probably just where it went wrong, where he thinking it's the whole fan base when it's just
Right.
a handful.
Right.
And then
Yeah.
then and say, yo, hey, no, it's just, you know what I'm saying? That's where it kind of goes wrong. We can't fight every battle. You can't
Right.
do
Exactly. And it was also a sticky.
in the media. So,
It was it was a weird time, put it that way, right? Like 2020, 2021 were funky times. Like you know how that is, politics, and it could go a lot of different ways, right? Like especially on Twitter, like like it could get out of hand. And I try to stay away from, like, honestly, politics. Like I keep to myself. Like I'm good, man. I'm gonna talk sports and that's it. But even sports, I'll get fans that attack me. I'm like, you don't know what you're talking about. You, I'm like, bro, it's just an opinion. Like, calm down. But yeah, people are they take it hardcore, man.
That's why I love the Mafia. That's why I swear I love them, because man, they was sending me some crazy stuff, and Mafia was like taking up for me. You feel me, during the down.
Oh, yeah.
That's that's the add in.
Oh yeah, they 100% will. Last topic before we get off, because we're 2 hours in. I can't believe 2 hours. By the way, I was trying to do an hour and a half for Stevie. It's been a great time, bro.
Man,
honestly, it's been awesome. It flew by. Bengals, Bills, Monday Night Football. What's your thoughts, real quick? And what do the Bills got to do to win this game, man?
I think we go out there and we just go out there and air it out, kill them. You know, we got to show them we ain't got to show them nothing, man. We just got to win, man. You know, we should have been playing against we you know, come on now.
I know. It was, dude, I did a lot. By the way, I go live every win or loss. And that was the toughest podcast I had to do, which was last year. And it was so, bro, it was grueling. Like, it was so tough. But it is what it is. I had to go live. But it was but I got to tell you, Stevie, as a Bills fan, I'm so used to it. Like, like I said, I've been watching since '89. So the wide right, right? The Music City Miracle, like, it doesn't end, right? Like it just does. And eventually it's going to. Eventually it's going to go our way. It has to, right? There's a lot of teams out there that's been through, like, it's the jinx, and they eventually win, right? Like when Super Bowls, Boston, like, so our time is coming. And I believe in Josh Allen. I believe in his team. But yeah, the Monday Night Football, man, in my opinion, listen, man, the defense has to just stay doing what they're doing. I think Leslie Frazier is so underrated. Like, I honestly, he is. He deserves to be a head coach again, and I think he'll get it next season. I do. I like Kyer Elam. I think he should be playing more. I don't understand why he wasn't playing as much, but he's starting now to get. And by the way, Kyer Elam came out and said, like, I was trying to do too much, and now I'm just going to play. Like, and I like that. Like, maybe that is, I think in the first round, especially first round pick, right? You think they would, maybe it gets into their head, like, they gotta, they can't make a mistake. You gotta be perfect.
Yeah, no, that's pretty wild, because I ended up, I remember doing messages with him, texting messages back and forth when he was picked. And I was just letting them know we was going back and forth, like, about it, highs and lows of it. It don't matter. No matter if it's good or bad, you come back and you show that energy, you show that attitude, you know what I'm saying? Because it's going to getting better. You got the talent, you feel me? Just go with it. Just go with the flow.
I like him too. Good. He's a good kid, man. Like you could tell, like, yeah, man. Like, you could tell he's a work, like, he studies. He takes that shit, like, personal. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like he wants to. He's like I said, like Allen. He's going to. He's not just satisfied. Like he wants to get better. And I think just early on, maybe like he said to himself, like maybe he was just trying to do too much. Like it, trying to prove everybody
Right.
that he was this guy. Like just go out there, do your thing. You're gonna make mistakes. It's okay.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Just learn from them and bounce back. And I think he's come to that
Mhm.
conclusion now that
Keep
I
your
can
head.
make a mistake. I can go back and correct it. You know what I mean? Rather than just getting in his head, And another guy, by the way, who's working his way back, Christian Benford is another guy. Like I can't wait for him. Man, 6th-round pick. Like that dude, man.
Right.
Solid,
Right. We
solid.
got so many good, talented athletes on our team, and they're young.
Yeah.
And they're young.
Yes. Yes. I mean, and it sucks we lost Vaughn, but we guys like Gregory Rousseau from the U, Miami Hurricanes.
Right.
I think
Right.
Gregory Rousseau is going to be a beat. Like if they just keep on, he is so big and so like he's a freak, dude. Ed Oliver's another guy. It's a freak, in my opinion. He's a tough, good kid. We have talent. We got guys. Shaq Lawson and Jordan Phillips. Jordan Phillips, my man crush. I love Jordan Phillips.
And
He is such an awesome, big,
great energy.
awesome energy.
Yeah.
Like he brings
I
it.
love
Like
it, dude. Like this team
right,
is
Phillips,
great.
dude.
Yeah.
Like Phillips is the guy. Like if there isn't more, like I love all the other guys, I do, but Phillips for somehow, some way, he brings it. Like he is the energy. He is the juice in that defense.
Man.
And I miss him when he's not there, man. I really do. Like I hope he's healthy for the playoffs because he's a big key, in my opinion. He is, man.
Dang, yeah. I'm so excited for this team,
yeah.
for the future of this team.
Oh, I and these, like I said, look at the guys, Stevie, that came back, like Shaq, Stevie, John Brown. I didn't even mention him. He's back.
Yeah.
Cole Beasley. Like we're getting guys that went and got paid, somewhere else, like Shaq Lawson, Steve. They want to come back.
It's got to happen, right? It's like,
it's so weird. Like this season, Stevie, for me, it's like, tell me if I'm wrong. Like it feels like it's just so meant to be. Like everything that's happened. Like, even the bad.
Exactly. Even off the field with the bad things and everything coming towards Buffalo, man.
Yes. Like, the shooting in Buffalo early in the offseason, like terrible, right? Like the snow, right? Like everything. We didn't get to play at home, right? We missed 2 home games, right? Like wild season. All the injuries, Micah Hyde, Von Miller, Josh. I mean, and we're still sitting at 12-3, a chance to win out the AFC. It's unbelievable, and I don't think some fans really get how unbelievable that is.
Experience, and we got the best tailgate experience.
Yes. By the way, real quick before I let you go, have you ever went through a table?
Nah.
I don't really, come on, man.
For the table, I don't want nobody getting hurt. Like,
so you want to try? You want to try?
Nah. They be asking me to do tables and stuff, but I can't do it. I don't want to do it. I'm good.
Right. You're like, oh no, because knowing you like break your arms.
Yeah. Oh man.
And then you'll be so pissed off. I got a super chat from Dwight, $13. I appreciate it, bro. Great show, Tommy. Thank you, Stevie, for coming on hanging with us.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. Hey, you were awesome tonight. By the way, real quick, score prediction before we go.
Score prediction 49-23.
Damn. Yeah. I like it. High scoring.
Crazy, yeah.
I get it. I'm going 34-24. I think it sounds about right. I think the Bengals will get some points. They got good receivers. But I always you know what's weird with me? I always predict the Bills defense are going to give up like 20-something points, and they always wind up giving up like 16 points, 18.
Yeah.
Like they're really good defense. Like
if they give up 20-something, the team scored early twice or something. You know what I'm saying?
You know what's you know what the Buffalo Bills defense does? I don't know what it is, but they always give up a touchdown early. It's almost like a boxing match with Frazier. Like he's like, okay, like we saw what you got. Now you got your touchdown. Now I'm gonna make some adjustments, and now you're gonna get.
We still don't even have a full healthy squad though. Can you believe that though?
I know. By the way, real quick before I let you go, adjustments, is that a real thing? A halftime and all that? Like, how does that work?
Yeah, it is. It
Because
is.
I heard halftime adjustments. It's not a real thing. I heard halftime adjustments. You just go eat quick, like get a bite to eat. But I heard adjustments in game is something. But I heard halftime. It's really just you guys going in there, quick getting something to drink, eat, and go back out. Is that
Yeah,
true
but
or no?
the little thing is communication, because sometimes there's coaches at the top, you feel me? And sometimes there's coaches that's doing things that you can't really talk to them on the field. So when you get that halftime, you can really speak and communicate with, okay, or you can look them in the eye, and then they got to be accountable towards doing it, or they won't, and then you go from there.
Does your OC come down, by the way? Like, how does that
Yeah.
work? Does the OC come down from the box?
Yeah, they
and talk to you?
all come down there and be meeting us once we get to the locker room.
Individually, like groups wise, like special teams, defense, or is it all one?
We'll break
how
off.
does that work?
Yeah, we'll be
Break off.
and then we'll break off into our individual groups. But the first 10 minutes or so, maybe 5-some minutes.
You guys didn't have those tablets back then, right?
Yeah, they ended up bringing.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, they ended up bringing the tablet.
Okay. Because they got the Surface Pros. I'm guessing the technology has probably helped
new,
out.
Yeah, very new. Yeah, much.
It's
new.
helped out a lot. Well, hey, man. Why so serious, Stevie Johnson? It was a pleasure.
Love.
2 hours in, 2 hours and 10 minutes. Way past. I don't care. I could have went all three. I feel bad. I keep it going. It's been awesome, man. Honestly, I hope you do. I would love for you to come on again, and I would come on any podcast you do in the future. By the way, I would love to be honored to come on one of your shows, and it was an honor for you coming on here. You're one of my favorite players. The chat absolutely loved you tonight, man. Stick around real quick before I go. I'm gonna talk to you. Other than that, Bills Mafia, I appreciate you all coming on again tonight. Great interview. Bills Mafia #1. Stevie, any last words? Anything you want to say before we bounce out?
Handle biz, have fun, repeat.
There we go. All right, guys. Bills Mafia #1. Go Bills. Peace out. Peace.
Yes.
Hi.